Hi, this is Amir with the US stock highlights for Monday, the 30th of November here on Share Talk. Starting with Aqua Bounty Technologies, where we've hit the top of that rising trend channel there from earlier in the year. I think that it originated sometime around the beginning of January, and that was running through around the $5.80 level. Above that, on an end-of-day close basis, i.e. above that January resistance line, we've got the chance of the shares accelerating to the upside, hitting that May resistance line projection up towards $8.20, and that could be seen over the next 2 to 4 weeks. This stage already back below the last peak in September, around $5.25, would really delay the upside scenario after we get a decent end-of-day close through $5.80. Next stock is one which has been one of the stars of the recent past. Fcel Energy, as you can probably tell by the name, rather fashionable, and we're still heading higher in terms of today's price action, filling the gap from Friday, and then key reversal to the upside so far. We've got the chance of the shares hitting the top of, hitting that November resistance line from this time last year, currently pointing towards the $12.40 area. And that's valid while we hold above today's intraday low of $8.86 on an end-of-day close basis. There is some support in addition below that towards $7.80, but today's key reversal bear trap low is clearly going to be more important over the near term. On to a stock which is not so familiar, Hexo Corporation. Here you can see that we've had the shares building a base over the post-March period, really. This looks like hopefully the last time the shares will need to test for support, coming back above or gapping through the 200-day moving average there at 75 cents. And while we're above Friday's intraday peak at 87 cents on an end-of-day close basis, looking towards the top of the rising trend channel from March, currently pointing as high as $1.50, hopefully by over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Next up, a stock with a rather strange code, FSD Pharma, with the code is HUGE, so not quite tying up there. But what is interesting here is that we've had a decent basing here for the stock towards the $1.30 level, gapped up today as well through previous resistance, initial November resistance at $1.78, while we're above that on an end-of-day close basis. Looking for post-September resistance towards the $3 area, perhaps up to $3.50 is the best-case scenario over the next 1 to 2 months, while we hold above that old $1.78 peak. At this stage, only well below $1.50, really delaying the upside scenario. Onto a stock which has become a bit of a favorite, I suppose, Marathon Patent Group. Here we've got shares hitting the top of a rising trend channel, gapping through the resistance line there. This one in place from as long ago as November 2018. So the line there running around the $5.50 level, while we're above that on an end-of-day close basis. We are justified in looking for a fresh target to the upside, which is the 2-year resistance line projection from the summer of 2018, heading towards $9, hopefully over the next 1 to 2 months. At this stage, while we're really above the $5 area, and the latest gap, the upside remains valid on a technical basis. Difficult to avoid Mrna at the moment, given the positive news emanating from that company regarding vaccines and everything else. And interesting that we gapped through the top of the May trend channel there at around the $115 level on Friday. And today we've gapped up again towards the next rather ambitious target at $1.55 on the upside. And $1.55 the destination for the shares, hopefully on a technical basis, while we hold above today's intraday low at $141.05 on an end-of-day close basis. Moving along to a stock which is perhaps not so high profile, QuantumScape Corporation. Here the interest really comes from the way that the shares have accelerated to the upside over the last couple of sessions. What should happen is that Friday's intraday resistance at $40 becomes the new support on an end-of-day close basis, and while we hold above 40, looking towards 65, which is a resistance line there from back in September, the top of the rising September trend channel. So above $40, looking for 65, hopefully, for QuantumScape Corporation. Obviously, we've seen Bitcoin and all things digital currency-wise rising strongly recently, and that's fed into the blockchain area. Here we've got this new target here with the August resistance line projection from last year heading towards $9, and that target value while we hold above today's intraday low at $6.90 on an end-of-day close basis. In fact, the bull argument really intact while we hold above $6, which is the former rising trend channel that we were traveling within until earlier this month. Just a couple of stocks to go now. The first is the poetically named Sndl Growers. Here we can see that's still making progress on a technical basis. We've gapped higher, second gap higher in recent days, so one last week and another one today, and gapping through the initial November resistance at 60 cents. While we hold above that on an end-of-day close basis, looking for a best-case scenario target over the next month, 1 to 2 months, at the March resistance line projection, currently pointing as high as $1.50, and only really thinking of being bearish at all on an end-of-day close back below today's 45 cents floor, but really the best stop loss is actually at the initial November peak, just below the 60 cents area. Finishing off with a stock which had a bit of a flurry earlier in the month, but since cooled off slightly. Here we've got Zomedica, and really looking for an end-of-day close above the 200-day moving average at 15 cents to then open up the late June resistance area towards 26, 27 cents, hopefully by the following 4 to 6 weeks on any break of the 200-day moving average. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.